For most of us, trying to perform gymnastics without using your hands would be impossible, at least I hope, but not for senior Caelen Lansing of the Central Logan Co-op. Last season, Lansing tore the UCL in her right elbow, but continued to compete with an arm brace that locked her arm at a 90-degree angle. As a new season begins, I asked Caelen about her long recovery process and how it's changed her as a gymnast. Back in January, when her injury occurred, Lansing and coach Crystal Young had just weeks to adjust to her new reality.
We took the skills that she had, used her hands, took them out of the routine, put together skills she could do without her hands, and basically recreated a floor routine that was still state-worthy.
And Lansing ended up with a floor routine, again without using her hands, that earned her 4th place at state.
Obviously going into it with an arm brace, you're not really expecting to do super great because you have an arm brace on. So I was going in like I was just really honored to be able to go to state. So the fact that I did well was just really exciting for me.
After the adrenaline wore off, the healing process had to begin.
They kind of determined they were going to wait and see if those tendons were going to connect back to her bone, and luckily enough, they did start to connect. So surgery was taken off the table.
It's definitely been a process. So after the state tournament, I didn't have to really brace anymore because I was in a big brace. And then I was kind of just slowly working back in skills. I didn't get completely cleared until the middle of July. It was kind of frustrating for me just because that's when you get all your new skills to start getting ready for the next season. So I couldn't quite do that as early as I wanted to.
And after almost a year, she's back to 100%.
I was honestly surprised at how much muscle memory I have. For some of the things, it was definitely a little more intimidating. Like going back to bars for the first time, it was scary for me because I didn't want to risk re-injuring it or other things, especially the skill that I injured it on. It was definitely a little intimidating to go back to doing.
Lansing says as frustrating as the journey has been at times, it's also taught her an important lesson.
Making the best of the situation. Like if you get thrown a curveball, there's pretty much always some way either around it or to make the best of whatever situation you're in.
And her team won the first home duel of the season on Tuesday. She was the all-around champion with a score of 35.625.